All right, guys.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. We've got people on from all around the world today. Not sure if Ed's in North Carolina. He's such a frequent traveller. Are you at home, Ed? You're muted. He's at home.
I'm in North Carolina, but I'm not at our home. We're in the home of one of our associates who's going to kind of get a little peek behind the curtain here with us tonight.
Oh, fantastic. Welcome. Is that Rebecca's arm in the background?
Yes.
No,
well, no, that's Denise.
Sorry.
That's Denise. We're in Denise, Susan's home. Here's Rebecca. Denise has got an active vested interest in Taiwan, too, so it's kind of fun for her to be here listening.
That is great. We've got BK on from Singapore. It's nice and early, 6 a.m. in the morning. There's BK. We're really looking forward to introducing you to him today. We've got Mal Sword, second from the bottom, as you can see. I think Mal's reputation precedes himself in a great way. So we're looking forward to having Mal interview, and we're going to interview him and just have him share actually what he's doing and how come it's working so much and why he's such a superstar. So we're excited about that. And then we've got Ed Wiens on, whom you've just heard from, who's our sponsor, and Stevie and Sarah. They're all going to chat about Ascent. So we're really looking forward to hearing from them and why it's important to build these incentives into your business plan. So we're going to get started with going through the agenda so you know what's ahead. And
we've got Mr. Richard Lee on as well. Welcome, Richard.
welcome.
Yes.
Got a big announcement coming. Well, we can say it. Hey,
I don't know why.
Ambassador Diamond, last night.
Australia's
Yeah,
new
awesome.
Ambassador Diamond. Congratulations.
That deserves an amazing
Richard.
applause.
Thanks for being on the webinar, Richard. Well, we've got a photo of you in the slide presentation, so we'll give you a call on you when we get to that point. But until that time, if you could mute your audio, that would be really helpful. So thank you very much. Alrighty, so moving forward, we usually start, as you know, with these webinars with rank advancements and special recognition. And then we're going to hear from Ed, Rebecca, Stevie and Sarah with Ascent recap. And then we're going to have hear from BK and Mal Sword, who's BK in Singapore and Mal's, as we know, an Aussie. And then we're going to run through the things you need to know in your business to stay connected and plugged in, upcoming events, things like how to handle your renewals. We've got information on how to get on auto ship for ASEA be a source. So stay on the line today. It's a lot of information, but we're excited to bring you great value and good content. Bart freaks the dogs out when he blows those whistles, so might be playing a juggling act. But we wanted to start, as we do, with recognition. So let's have a look at the Director 300 rank advancement. So 103 this month as opposed to 87 last month. So that is absolutely fantastic. Congratulations to the all new Director 300s.
103 new Director 300s. That's amazing.
It's fantastic. And 90 new rank advancements for Director 700 as well. So congratulations all the Director 700s and welcome to the team. So with bronze, we've got quite a few executive rank advancements with bronze. Please put your hands together, and we can't see you on camera, but congratulate everybody who went to the bronze executive level. Congratulations. You can see we've got sponsors listed on the right-hand side as well. So
And some bubbles.
yeah, I don't know if they can see the bubbles. Okay, silver executives. We've got a couple of silver executives listed here, so congratulations. You can see that Christina Sword and Richard Lee are the upline sponsors to these amazing leaders. Congratulations. Gold executives. We've got France on the map. I think that's largely due to Mal. So congratulations on the new gold executive in France. And you can see I'm doing a really great job not pronouncing anybody's names because I don't want to get stumbled up on how to pronounce them, but maybe we'll have you on speaking French next time, Mal. So yes, congratulations everyone who rank advanced to the Platinum Executive level. This is a fantastic achievement. Holy Grail is Mal, so well done Richard and Mal for your leadership with the rank advancements of these Platinum Executives in the last few weeks. And then we have Mijo from France. So congratulations, Mijo.
Brand new diamond.
she found Mal through Facebook. So we might hear that story in just a little while. Congratulations, Misha. She actually has only been in the business for 6 months or less. And then we've got Richard. Richard Lee, congratulations.
This guy's a rock star.
New Ambassador Diamond. So, yeah. So Richard, would you like to take just a few minutes? If you'd like to say anything to all of us, that would be wonderful. We'd love to hear from you because your name has been sweeping the pools with all the records and all the recognition in the last 12 months or so. So we are so excited about your rank advancement.
Just take him off mute there.
You're an amazing, amazing leader. There you go, I've unmuted you.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, yes, but Melissa, thank you for inviting me to the webinar all the time. Yeah, I haven't time to speak to everybody anyway. Yes, I just keep going. You know, we have very great leaders from, you know, Bart, Melissa, Mel, Daniel, and Maureen. So without your help, I couldn't do this. Yeah, I just do it. You know, I just never normally do it. I try myself very hard. Anyway, just talking to people, sharing, because I think this is only a network marketing is a token business. You know, every successful people tell me the story is always ask questions, always learning, always growing, always pushing a little bit. You know, I just copy or duplicate what Dan Doyle, what you did. Just a good student, I think. Yeah, but you know, maybe we'll talk a bit later. I haven't get ready myself.
Your work ethic is really amazing, Richard. So where do you see this going? Gosh, you've hit some ranks pretty darn quick.
If you work harder, you just everything just quicker.
You know,
yeah.
I think the speed of the leader. There's something I remember years ago. It said the speed of the leader determines the rate of the pack.
That's right.
So your work ethic and your vision for where you're going and your ability to convey that to people has really helped to inspire a lot of people to really make a decision to move their business quicker. And,
yes.
And obviously you've got some exciting things happening in the Asia market, Taiwan and all around. So where do you see, what's your vision for the Asian market, and where do you see yourself a year from now?
Yeah, you know, I think ASEA is like a university. I just like a student. I do everything. I work hard day by day. And I told my team, you know, this is just a university student. Treat you're like a student. Your attitude determines your direction, okay? So, you know, just if you put your heart into ASEA, you keep a positive mindset, you'll be surprised what you can achieve. So I show my team, you know, nothing is impossible if you put ASEA into your mouth every day.
That's very sage advice, Richard. And I know in terms of challenges, you've achieved what you achieved in record time. And that's also with you having to interpret a lot of the materials into Chinese.
That's right.
Resources. I mean, we started with resources in English. You really started with nothing. So you've been able to achieve that. You've been a remarkable leader. You are a remarkable person. And we're so excited to see more of you up on stage and inspiring all of us. So thank you.
I just think I'm being completely blessed. And, you know, I joined with a great team like Dan, you, Lorraine. Lorraine helped us a lot. Every week we have a Chinese presentation at Lorraine's home, and Mel give us tips and training. Came down from Queensland, so I just sort of I know I am a good student anyway. I still learning.
Well, we love your humility, your humble attitude. That's a mark of a true leader. So kudos to you. Well done. Thanks for jumping on the call with us this morning. And any final words of advice that you'd give someone that's brand new, that's just jumped on this call today from one of the top leaders? What would be your just a few words?
Okay, I had a little bit think. You know, just this is a very very good company. I said I worked. I think I worked for lots of company before, but ASEA is a great company. I just so blessed, and if I want to share some tips with my with everyone, is just be fun, you know, and have fun with everybody. Enjoy your work, enjoy your talking, and be yourself. and caring people. People don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay, and move your emotion from yourself to somebody else. Okay, and find your own way, and know your way, and just keep learning ASEA's culture. Become believe, belong, become. Eventually, everybody will be there. Yeah.
Perfectly spoken. Thank you so much, Richard. Go and enjoy some rest today. Be sure to celebrate.
I will. I still have some appointments.
No doubt. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you at the Diamond Summit in Ireland as well.
And at the castle.
We do.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks,
fantastic.
Richard.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Richard.
Bye. Okay, so that was Richard Lee. We're really excited to have had a chance to catch him today because he really, really is on the move a lot when it comes to the building of his business. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to top emerging leaders. So Richard, I'm just trying to mute your audio. I can't seem to do it on my end. So if you could mute yourself, that'd be great. Okay, so top emerging leaders, you can see week 13. We've got some amazing leaders week 13 and week 14 as well. You can see, I saw it on that list as well. So there's been some really, phenomenal, interesting people advancing the ones that are in these lists, and week 16 as well. So congratulations to everybody who's been the top emerging leaders globally. This is globally. Top associate enrollers. Put your hands together for the top associate enrollers, week 13, 14 and 16 around the world. So congratulations. And then top AutoShip All-Stars. And you can see that Dr. Wayne and Karen Pickstone feature on this list quite heavily too. And interestingly, Dr. Wayne invited Kevin Ho, who is BK's sponsor. So he's brilliant at being able to do, get people onto and stay on from a retention perspective on AutoShip. Okay, Chris, Ed's got to be somewhere. Ed and Rebecca, we were going to call on you, Ed, now for an Ascent update and have you share your insights and how amazing that trip was. We've seen lots of photos. Looks like you had a blast.
Well, yeah, thank you. It was, I'm sure you several folks online here as well that were there, but it was a fantastic experience. You know, when you go to a lot of events, it always, in some respects, it seems like the most recent one stands out in your mind as the best ever. And Mal, you've been to a lot of events, probably more than I have over the 20, 30 years in the industry. But truthfully, this really was an outstanding event. There were probably several things that contributed to it being that. But I just want to say, first of all, you know, kudos to the whole Aussie team. You guys, I mean, 2 years in a row now, the top performer in the contest for the event has come from down under. So you guys are really setting a high standard for the rest of the world to follow. Last year it was Lorraine who won the top prize, and this year it was Julie Watts. And it was just, yeah, it was just great to see you folks so well represented. Bart and Melissa, of course, we missed you there, and Danny, we missed Danny being there, but I know it was a long way for you guys to come. But it was a real privilege for Rebecca and I to be there and just kind of step in your shoes and play host to some of your great leaders that were there, many of whom are on this call. You know, first of all, the company really does a great job of putting events together, and they pick great locations. They have great staff that put these together. This time they had a great, I think, a great format. We had one day where we had a pretty full day of meetings, and that was it. Other than, you know, the reception the first night, and then the next day was meetings. Then we had 2 days to just really enjoy the setting, enjoy one another's company. It was spread out enough of a facility that you could kind of, find a different place to gather, but it was also close enough. It was easy to get anywhere within the complex. And it was great for me to get a chance, and Rebecca, to meet some of the folks on the team that we've seen the names, but hadn't really had a chance much to spend time together. The Pickstones and even Julie Watts and David Yee that was there. He and I rode around the golf cart together. It's always a blast to be with Mal. Mal is just he's fun. He's a laugh a minute, and we have great fellowship whenever we're together, and look forward every time that happens. And Stevie and Sarah were there. Just these are I tell them they're my Aussie kids. I love them and love their energy, their youthfulness, and just what they bring to the table here. So I hesitate to start naming a bunch of, because I'll probably forget some, but it was a great event. We learned a lot of great just stats about the company's achievements, where the company stands today, how they're poised for expansion in the future. So I'll jump in with some more comments, but I'd love to hear the perspective of Mal and Stevie and Sarah, and I can jump back in whenever you like. We're here for the duration of the call if you need us, but just want to say kudos to all of you for the tremendous pace of leadership that you've established globally. I mean, Australia was the second largest represented marketplace that was there. I mean, you had 28 qualifiers from Australia and New Zealand for the Ascent, and Europe. You beat all of Europe. Europe had 18. Of course, the U.S. was the strongest, but Singapore was represented. Hong Kong, Singapore had 2, Hong Kong had 3, Taiwan had 7, and then you guys just you kicked butt, and it was impressive. It was impressive. I was really proud to be associated with all you folks that were there.
Hey, Ed, I'd like you to just share the story of Paula and her husband that. I mispronounce the name if I say it. So anyway, just Paula and
Fred.
Yeah.
It's Logus. Yeah, Paula and Fred Logus. They're a couple right here from North Carolina. I knew them from years past, and Paula was a little resistant when I first brought up the whole idea of ASEA, but she's had a real health challenge over the last few years that she refused. She refused conventional chemotherapy and radiation treatment for it. And she just finally embraced ASEA and has had fantastic product results, as has her husband, Fred. This is a couple in their mid-70s. And Fred had a situation with his eyes where he was having to get injections in his eyes. Nothing makes me cringe more than the idea of getting a shot in my eyes. And he would have to get, how often was he getting an injection, Rebecca? He was every 4 weeks he would have to go in for injection. Well, he began drinking the product. He began spraying in his eyes, bathing his eye in it. And the time between him having to have those injections got longer and longer. And finally, just within the last few days, he went back for another follow-up. And his eye doctor just said, whatever situation he could still see a residue of there is completely gone. It came back for a while because he was stopping. But now,
stopped using the drops.
Anyway, here's a couple that have really never traveled. They've never left I think they left the country maybe one time to Canada across the border back before 9/11. So before, crossing the border was even an issue. They've never flown anywhere since 9/11. So just because they've shared this product, shared the story, shared the business, their businesses begin to build, and they're retired, but really only ever taught school and small Christian schools, never made a lot of money, certainly don't have much of a retirement, live pretty modestly, really modestly, and they began to earn some income and got involved in the Ascent contest. They qualified for 4th place, the whole contest. So they had to go get passports for the first time in their life. They'd never had a passport before. And of course, Rebecca and I felt compelled to just go along. We kind of jokingly say to chaperone them. Really, it was to just help them. Their mobility is a little challenge. And so we were able to just kind of coordinate a lot of the details regarding the travel. They'll tell you that they would not have made the trip had we not gone with them. But we just felt it was not only something that they were deserving of, but to me, they were just rock stars. I mean, I love the fact that, Julie won the big prize. And of course, some of your other leaders are well represented. But them coming from where they're coming, and having achieved it and having the privilege to be there was as big a success story as anybody who won the right to be there. So I tell you truthfully, they take your excuses away. Mal, you got a chance to sit next to him for 2.5 hours on the flight from Cabo to LA, and you can pipe in a little bit as well. But this is just a couple that's really earning more money. They'll earn more money this year than they've ever earned in a single year, their incomes combined.
That's
It's amazing. I remember just the little things, Fred talking about being able to go to the grocery store and not wonder if he could afford to buy whatever he wanted to buy at the grocery store. Going to shop for some clothes for the trip and knowing that it wasn't going to strain the budget if they picked out, a couple of $200-300 worth of new clothes to take on this trip. Today's Friday here, they had the largest single weekly deposit in their ASEA smart wallet that they've had to date in the business today. And so it's just a great success story. And I tell you, some of you that met them, you know that if they'll tell you this, if they can do this, anybody can do this. But what they do bring to the table is a level of commitment and passion and belief that it takes. And they've exhibited that since day one. And in fact, she was today texting us all day long. They've been at an exhibit with all day with one of their associates, and they've got several new leads to follow up on. And believe me, she'll follow up on them. She's a retired math teacher. She knows the comp plan in and out better than I do. When people call me for comp plan questions, I say, go to Paula. Paula got it all figured out. She knows how every facet of it works, but it's just a great story. And to me, they were the real rock stars of the whole Ascent event.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Ed.
Thank you, Ed. Congratulations on such a showing of your team in Ascent. And if you hadn't have made that phone call to Bart, may not have happened.
I tell that story all the time. It's just the power of duplication. I mean, I tell people all the time, you know who you know, but you don't know who they know. I knew Bart. Bart and I are brothers from different mothers. But we've known each other for 20 years. I didn't know Danny. I didn't know Mal. And you can see the ripple effect today. You guys are the whole world, the world of the entire ASEA world is watching what's happening with your team. And you guys are setting a pace that it's the admiration and the envy of every ASEA leader right now to do what you guys are doing. So congratulations to all of you.
Wow.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you, Ed. Thanks for joining us. We're going to skip over to, we have Stevie and hopefully Sarah on this morning too. Julie Watts was going to join us. She's on the way to the Galapagos, so she wasn't sure if she'd have internet.
But I can tell you, she was just in Ecuador, and she said, hey, I'm signing up a guy here. I need some advice on how to get some product to him. And so here she's on this grand world tour from Cabo to South America, now heading over to the Galapagos Islands. And she said, I'll join you if I can, but I don't know what my internet's going to be like. Right. So I don't believe that.
You can tell this to her. I'm going to be in Ecuador. I'm going on the Advancing Life Foundation trip to Ecuador in July. So if she's got contacts there, make sure we communicate about that.
Okay.
Thanks.
That sounds good.
So we'll hand the time over to Stevie Aquilina, who had an absolute blast, he and Sarah at Cabos. So we wanted Stevie to talk about the importance of attending these events in terms of working them into your ASEA business plan for the year, so importance of incentives and just the experience that they both had there. So hand it over to you, Stevie.
Thank you very much. Look at those pictures.
Yeah. So great to see you both. I know you guys are wild party animals by the looks of these photos.
Yeah, but you know who I had to try and keep up with was and he earned his honorary millennial pin over there was Malcolm Sword. He is one to wear you out.
That's fun. So yeah, we spoke last night, Stevie, and you said some really amazing things about this trip. So love for you to share what your thoughts are with everybody, as well as you, Sarah. I'm so excited to see you in all these photos, and tell us what this trip meant to you both.
Look, it meant everything. It was both a professionally changing but also personally life-changing event, opportunity. Sarah and I had never been able to do anything like this before. Before ASEA, we'd been living, as Ed explained, with Paula and her husband. We'd lived a very modest lifestyle. Sarah had lived a good lifestyle before me, but then when she married me, I kind of dragged her down. So she kind of married a frog. But she's been kissing me so often that I'm starting to turn into a prince, and that's what I felt like when we were there. We were so well looked after. When we got there, we couldn't believe just how magical that place was. It was literally like something out of a dream. It was first class all the way. We kept waking up every single day, and even moments throughout the day, sort of going, "Oh my God, we're in Mexico."
Yeah.
So it really gave us a gauge of where we've gotten to, where we've come from, and what we've had to become along the way to get there. So that was absolutely amazing realization for us. We felt so grateful to the company. I mean, you look at all the corporate team that were there, and you think, oh, these guys have got a great living. They get to travel the world and get paid just like us, but they're guaranteed to go on all the trips. But they work hard to make sure that everything's put together for us. And so we were so very grateful that they gave us this opportunity to be on that trip. And then, we walked into everything on that trip, just, spontaneously doing things. But, nothing was spontaneous for them. It was all planned for us. They did everything for us. It was absolutely amazing. And we were very grateful for being able to spend the time with the great leaders you're seeing on the screen right now. This event changed us more than any other. Now, I don't want anybody to misinterpret that. I've been to 2 global conventions in the United States, and they were vital stepping stones to getting me to this event. Without those 2 first international conventions, I wouldn't have gotten here. And also on that note, without Bart and Melissa and Mal and Ed and Rebecca and Dan and Lorene, and all of our great leaders and all of our great team, there's no way we would have gotten here either. But at this event, we got to network with not only other leaders that had achieved to get there. We got to associate with them and learn from them, but we got to learn obviously with the great leaders you see on the screen right now. And what was different about this event than any other is that you get to network with these types of leaders at the global convention, but not like at this event, because at this event, all anybody has is time. And so we really got, more out of people. And we got to, Ed and Rebecca organized a fantastic dinner where we all just got to, there it is there. We all just got to be, we're very grateful to Ed and Rebecca for putting that together. And there's more people that actually came to that party before, after the photo that was taken. And you just get to sit down and be with people and get that, live the ASEA philosophy, get that, we believe more by being able to get there and realizing every day that we're there, and we get that, connection with people, through that belonging, we're able to become more as well. And so we're so very grateful for everyone sending us there. Without everybody on this call right now, and even those of the, in our team that haven't been able to make it on this call, of course we've been working to get there, but really you guys sent us there. That's what's beautiful about this business, is that, we can say that we're working hard to get there, and we do, but it only happens because of all of you. What about you, honey?
I don't have much more to say than that, honey.
Sarah's been waiting for me to do something like this for her for a long time.
Congratulations, Sarah.
Yeah, you guys look like you're having so much fun. You guys definitely are party animals. And the next trip, I guess they'll be announcing at convention. But Sarah, do you think it's worth it, the work to make this happen and to go and to be there? And
yes, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to go and socialize with everybody. That was
our goal now.
Yeah.
Is to.
Well, go.
No, you go.
What's our goal?
Our goal is, just getting there. We had 2 team members that managed to qualify, and we had one that was able to come along. But our goal now is to make sure that we're sending lots of people there. To the next one. It is a vital step it's been a vital step, not only for us personally, as I said, that is definitely the type of lifestyle we want. We want to be able to run around the world helping people, and then ending up with all the leaders that have done the same at exotic places like this,
Yeah.
And And then, you know, we want to be able to send as many people. We want to go to next year's trip, but we want to have to flip the bill for ourselves, just like the great leaders who did that went along, you know, like, you know, Ed and Rebecca and Mal and Chuck and Tammy and Denny and Tom and, you know, who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting people, I'm sure. But, you know, we want to be able to send lots of people on there next time so they can have this type of growth and these type of realizations and experiences as well. You know, Tyler, you know, it was Justin Wilson, I think, that shared figures with us on just the type of growth that people have in their business getting along there. Have I got just another minute to quickly share that, Bart and Melissa?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Because I took some quick notes. I won't go through all of the statistics, but for example, for those that got to the 6th place qualifying profile, if we're just talking in terms of financial rewards, I mean, they had a 53% increase in their income during the qualification period, and that was for 6th place.
Wow.
You know, 4th place, the average increase in income was 73%. That was 5th place, sorry. 4th place, the average income qualification was 10%. But keep in mind that the average rank was a gold executive. And so when you're a gold executive, that's a nice income. And if you're having a 10% bump on that, that's quite a significant bump. And then in 3rd place, there was a 53% increase in the income during the qualification period. And then 2nd place, a 91% increase on average in income. And then for 1st place, it was 101%, so almost double the income, you know, for the grand prize. So these are the statistics they've collected over the Ascent trip. So yeah, you get to go along there, you get to socialize, you get to have a good time, you get to be with good people, you get to be with great people so that you can move more so towards greatness yourself. And you can get there on the satisfaction that you've done it, that you're having this great experience because you've given people better experiences in their lives when they're having trouble. But also the financial rewards are there by getting to an event like this as well. So we're going to be in Texas because it's those events that are propelling us towards an event like this. So I would say everybody, you know, you're going to think right now, I can't go for whatever reason, because I know at my first convention, I thought I couldn't go, but it was Bart, Melissa and Dan that pushed me and supported me to get to my first convention. And it changed my life and it took me towards this event that we did, you know, just last week. So you need to go, you know what, you shouldn't go to convention. It's not a good idea that you go to convention. It's vital that you go to convention. You must be at convention. You need to be at convention, because if you want to be at these places, and I tell you, you want to be at these places that we went to, then you need to get along to convention, because that will be your biggest stepping stone towards achieving something like this.
Yeah. And, you know, we were just chatting yesterday, and I'd put you on the spot here, Stevie, but you set a pretty big goal for convention to not only be there, but to bring a whole pile of people with you.
Yeah, well, at my first convention, the international convention, that is, I had one person. I think I had one person at that first one, didn't I? And then 2 people at my last one. But I want to times that by 10. So at this convention, we really want to put a big push to help at least 20 people get along to Texas with us.
Fantastic. And I tell you, these big events, they're inspirational. They're so much fun. It's where you get to network. Thanks for sharing the stuff about the incomes, because not only increasing your incomes, but you get to party with everybody, with all the other leaders. So it makes it just that much sweeter. Hey, we really appreciate you guys jumping on with us, and we're so proud of what you've done.
Congratulations to both of you, and very well spoken this morning. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's largely because of great leaders like you. So thank you for everything you do for us.
Thanks, Stevie. Great to see you, Sarah. Well, fantastic. That's so exciting to hear, and to have seen all the photographs too of their adventures over there. And this is just a quick update on all the Diamond Summit qualifiers. And no doubt we'll have a couple of names added to the Ambassador Extension qualifiers.
Well, Richard's going to be there, and we've got another one coming up here soon.
Yeah, so that's a surprise. So congratulations to everybody going to Dublin Island as well. So thank you for being patient and waiting, BK. Bart and I were in Hong Kong and Singapore recently, and we met BK and his sponsor, Kevin, and we were absolutely struck by their certainty, their conviction, their leadership. And these guys, they're focused leaders, and we've got BK on to share his story today. He's currently a Gold Executive Associate with ASEA. But BK, the floor is yours, so I'd love to get you to come to the video, because the first question I wanted to ask is just for you to tell us a little bit about yourself. So I would love to hear your story.
Sure. First, thank you for having me, and I apologize if there's a lot of background noise. I intentionally decided not to have Wi-Fi at home so that I'll be out of the house, because I think we are doing this business, we have to get out of the house, right? So if you hear a lot of weird noise in the background, this is the sound of a city waking up, because it's 6 a.m. in the morning here in Singapore. Okay. Little bit of background about myself. I'm actually quite blessed as well. I mean, as Richard was sharing just now, I've been fortunate to have been a member of a very prestigious school in Singapore. Fairly smooth sailing in terms of my education. I got a scholarship from the government. They paid for my studies. Then I went to do a degree in a university here. And after that, I had to fulfill my bond. We have a scholarship bond. So I actually taught for about 7 years in a public school. Got promoted pretty fast to a head of department role within like 2.5 years. So I did have quite a smooth sailing career in that sense. As a result, I also wanted to try more things. So I actually kind of left the service after I fulfilled my bond. And then I actually joined my in-laws in another network marketing company. I was there for about 2 years, and then we went on to do our own product distribution for a water ionizing business. So that, and I also did something in e-commerce in China for a while. So that was all the way until, so I basically sum up my life story until about last year when I joined ASEA. Yeah.
Do you mind just moving the microphone just a little bit away from your mouth? Because
okay, sure.
Feedback. But you basically are a natural born leader, and you see things very quickly. You see not only opportunity, but you see potential to be able to help people. So we'd love to know, what's your journey into ASEA? How did ASEA find you?
Okay, so this is quite a funny story. Kevin is my upline, my sponsor. So what happened was we have always known that he was unwell. So for a period of 5 years ago, he was actually unwell because of vaccination. So we know he was struggling with his personal illness for a long time. In fact, it was so bad that there was a period of time, I think he also wanted to end his life, but we managed to stop him in time. So sometime last year, he came across ASEA because of Dr. Wayne Pigstone, okay, and then he got better very fast. He got better. In fact, in about he started in May, but by August, I think he was already, according to his own words, about 80% better. So I met him up in August of that month, of that year. And I realized that this is something very interesting, because from knowing from how ill he was to how well he's doing now, this was obviously something that was fairly interesting. But when he shared with me the whole ASEA opportunity and the products, what caught my attention was the fact that a lot of the very large network marketing countries in the world are actually not open yet. Okay, that was actually the first thing that caught my attention. To be honest, I think in my mind, in the back of my mind, I think the product and the efficacy and all that was a given, because seeing what Kevin has gone through. And then, but what really caught my attention was the fact that these countries were all unopened. That really caught my eye, So that day itself, I actually asked Kevin, I said, how do I sign up, So that's actually a buy question, right? For any salesperson, that's actually a buy-in question. And but Kevin actually was very funny. He said that, hey, you go back and study some more, there's no need to rush this. There's no need to rush into this. Just go back and study some more. So I took the time so I said, okay, fine. I'll just go back home and do some more due diligence, which I did. I met him on a Saturday, and then I called him. I messaged him again on the Tuesday morning, right? So on the Tuesday morning, I messaged him and said, Kevin, you got time to meet up? He said, yeah, sure. Let's meet up again on Saturday again. So in my mind, I was thinking that it's another 5 days away, 4 or 5 days away. So I changed my wording for my text. I said, I messaged him again. I said, hey, Kevin, do you have time tonight to meet up? So I met him up that night, and then the rest is history.
That's a great story. Not many people have to chase their sponsors, and I know that it was all new to Singapore at the time. You guys are really pioneering the country, and we learn as we go along on this journey. And something you shared with me, which was really it's so important for everyone, because we all start typically ASEA with being in our heads. We're all in our heads. And then there's that shift where we actually move into our hearts, where it changes everything. So you had an experience like that, right? Because you really, really saw the opportunity for the business model, because you're a businessman. So tell us a little bit about that story.
Yeah, as I was telling you the other time, right? So for me, when I first got into ASEA, a lot of it was actually in the headspace, and also because I saw the opportunity as well. But as time went on, and in fact, it was quite fairly quickly. There was one time when Kevin asked me whether I could do him a favor and then just deliver some products to a friend of ours, his common friend who has a child that is on the ASD spectrum, right? So she was running out of product, and then she had to replenish her products pretty fast. So what happened was, I said, no problem, I just do it. Even though I didn't drive, I hand carried 2 cases of products by public transport all the way to her house. But what happened was her father received the products, and then very soon after the father received the product, she texted me a very nice, very heartwarming message. I think I've never done anything in my life that I had customers that thanked me so fervently from the bottom of their hearts, and that really triggered something in me, and I realized that this was something that can really help a lot of people, and it gave a sense of that day actually. So it went from the head space to the heart space pretty fast.
And that completely changes your conviction for building business and ASEA business, doesn't it? When you've really got that extra validation from your heart, the conviction is unstoppable, which is definitely what we're seeing with you and Kevin. And we were chatting because Mal Sword happened to be in Singapore at the time, and you sat down with Mal, and he changed your perspective on building business too. So could you share that with us?
Yeah, I always believed that I've been a fairly good student myself. So one of a very popular Chinese saying that I personally like a lot is, I'll just repeat it in Chinese, is 三人行必有我师, which basically means that in the company of 3, you always have someone who can teach you something. The statement actually is a statement that encourages people to be humble, basically, because you want to learn from people around you. So whenever I have a chance, and I would like to spend time with my leaders. So Mel and Julie and Malcolm Mel and Julie and Dr. Wayne Pigstone has been very kind, and they've been coming to Singapore quite often to support us. So whenever they're in town, I like to sit down with them and learn as much as I can from them. So Mel is a brilliant strategist, and he's brilliant with numbers, and the way he forward-looking in terms of what you can do with your back office, I think has been quite instrumental for me as well. So I had the time to sit down with him. I think we was in Burger King some more. We sat down in Burger King, and then we had a coffee. He just took out a notepad, and he showed me the way to calculate and to look at all the numbers in our back office, how many people you need to have, how fast you can grow in your business. I think I learned a lot from that. Of course, from that, I actually translated whatever was pen and paper into a digital Excel format, so that I can do it in a much faster way. So just like to thank Mel for that day, actually, because that helped me to really see and project what can happen in the business very fast.
That's definitely a master strategist. We're going to hear from him in a minute, but it's a matter of definitely knowing what your numbers are, and that's similar to what Stevie was talking about. It comes down to really taking control of your business, which is what you and Kevin are doing brilliantly. I know there's people on the line who have witnessed what's happening in Asia. What's your advice for people who are looking to build an ASEA business in Asia?
I think for Asian cultures, right, I think a lot of times we do need to have face-to-face contacts. A lot of times we may make a phone call or send a text message, but the face-to-face is actually quite important, because a lot of times they like to see the real person behind the company, behind the product. So unless there's a very strong personal relationship already, otherwise usually we do need to have a face-to-face with people. But having said that, it's not really a problem in Asia, because our population is so dense over here. You can easily gather 20-30 people at one go in a short timing, and location is small, especially in Singapore, for example. Most people are shocked to know that we are only 42 kilometers in length and 26 kilometers in width. So we are that small a country. Of course, Singapore also is very near to a lot of nearby Asian countries, so we are a very convenient stepping board into the region. Yeah.
That's great advice, BK, because I know a lot of people, particularly in Australia, would love to build a business in Asia. What advice do you have for people who are new on the line today, who are starting out their ASEA business?
For me, I like to get to know the product well. So I do spend a lot of time to understand the product. But the more I understand it, the more I realize that it is really very, very simple. But of course, I know some brilliant people always tell you that the simplest things in life are always the hardest to understand. But in this case, our product is actually really so simple, so fundamental that it has been quite eye-opening for me, and the way it has been able to help so many lives. I think just get to know the product and get to know the science a little bit. That helps you when you share. That's one. The other thing is that I think as much as you can, whenever you have visiting leaders from your international teams, try and spend as much time as you can with them. Their stories will inspire you. Their ethics will inspire you. And you just learn so much from them. So I would just like to say thank you again to Mel, to Julie, to Danny, to Dr. Wayne Pigstone, and Bart and Melissa. I just met you guys recently in Singapore. We had a great time on the rooftop bar. So we learned a lot from you as well. So please do come more often. We'd like to see you more often for sure. And we'd like to learn more from you.
You have a beautiful country. We love Singapore. I've got my Singapore orchid on today. So we absolutely love it. And I know that you are coming all the way out to the Gold Coast to be at the Eric Worre GoPro event. So what struck you in terms of actually making sure you were going to be there? Why did you make that decision?
Okay, I think sometimes network marketing as an industry does get a bad name in the sense that it's not really the problem of the industry, it's the problem of the people who do it, who does it, right? So I have always felt that we can approach this as a professional. We should do this in a very professional manner. It's an amazing industry. We have amazing products. We have amazing people. So I think constantly upgrading ourselves is a nice thing to do, or it's a must thing to do, right? So I would like to just go there and then just learn how to be even more professional in what we do, so that I can come back here and also share with the team and help the people here as well. Yeah.
And you have a goal to bring as many people in your team as possible out to the event as in the Gold Coast. So just similar to Stevie, it's a matter of getting people to events and that being vital to the business. So we look forward to seeing you on the Gold Coast. It may not be in Singapore before then. We're so grateful you joined us. You can either have breakfast or go back to bed now.
I'm at a place where they serve breakfast.
Oh, okay. But we're really excited to watch your growth, and it was truly a pleasure for both of us to meet you and Kevin. You are absolute leaders, and we truly thank you for imparting your wisdom with everybody on the line today. So thanks for joining us, BK.
Thank you for having me.
Well,
looking forward to exciting things in your business, man.
Yeah. Congratulations, BK. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to move on to the man himself, Mal Sword. He's usually juggling kids, so we're so excited to be able to steal some of his time today. So, Mal, in terms of inviting you on today, it was about BK's comment in terms of planning your business, strategizing your business, and we'd love you to share your words of wisdom, because you are absolutely growing in leaps and bounds. You went wide, you've come out of the gate fast, you're an amazing leader, so I'll hand the time over to you.
Thank you. What I really wanted to share with you is that on these webinars, as I've been listening to each of the speakers, there's been some markers, and there's a great saying that success always leaves clues. And I wrote down a number of things as I was listening to Richard when he started on this webinar. There were a number of things that he said that if you can kind of understand some of the things that Richard said, these are the kind of clues that Ambassador Diamonds kind of drop and leave, maybe glibly, but when I say glibly, they just come out, but these are the absolute keys, I think, of developing large organizations. And so the 5 things I wrote down from Richard, number 1 was mindset. And this is such a massive key with developing organizations. You know, every one of us here on the call, myself especially, even after all these years, is a student of this profession. And, you know, as BK just said just now, and there's a great saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. But I think as important as that is that if we all remain students, you know, whilst I've been in the industry a very long time, most of you are aware of that, I am still learning. You know, yesterday I was with my mindset coach. You know, I have a coach to keep me on track. I have another coach to, you know, keep me grounded. I probably need a lot more help than most people realize. And so I seek that help and constantly stay in the learning phase. Mindset is such a big thing. Many people, as we approach this business, come to it with different, you know, damage, different life experiences that have taken us through the ups and downs of life. But being able to master your mind, control your thoughts, regulate your thoughts, couple that with this incredible technology, this life-changing technology, the most sensational company that I've ever seen in my life. I don't think in my situation, we're ever going to see anything quite like this again. I won't in my lifetime anyway. And so I treat the business like that. The second thing you mentioned, which is vital to lift your energy, is gratitude. Is to be grateful for wherever you are now. Some of you are dealing with challenges, and whilst you may not be grateful for those as you go through them, that is how you grow. I was talking with a young lady in Cabo, and I won't say who it was, but she was talking about the struggle of building a business like this. I said, well, that's your success. The struggle is the success. We want to avoid the struggle. You ever read a book called Think and Grow Rich? I think it was. It was either Think and Grow Rich or Magic of Thinking Big. When the man was trying to protect a little chrysalis because it was struggling to get out to become a butterfly, and he cut the end off the chrysalis to make it easy for the little butterfly. But in the process of cutting the end of the chrysalis, the butterfly never developed its wings, and so it could only walk around the ground and died. It's the struggle that makes us strong. We want to avoid that, but it is the essence of our journey is to embrace the struggle and accept that is the growth that we have, and to be grateful for it. Whether you're in a good place or not so good, it will pass. The seasons change. No seasons will ever stay the same. Gratitude is such a big thing to raise your energy level. Be grateful for what you've got. All of us here should be so grateful for Vertis Norton that he made the decision not to sell this technology. None of us would be in this call. None of us would be in the situation financially that we are in now, or moving towards the financial position that we know we can have. Every single one of us here in a year or 2 years can be incredibly financially well off. If it wasn't for Vertis Norton, none of us would be here. So gratitude. The third thing that Richard said was work ethic. And you can see the work ethic the man has. You don't get to Ambassador Diamond in, what is it, a little over, is it maybe not even 2 years, 18 months. It's like incredible. How does somebody go from, you know, 0 to ambassador in 18 months or something? It's work ethic. The man works, he works, he's diligent. And we should work. It is a business. You know, it is network marketing, not net think marketing. It's work. You know,
network marketing, yeah.
If you want to achieve a big rank, it takes work. It takes effort. Another thing that Richard mentioned was belief. And the three things that Tyler mentioned at convention here was belief in the company, belief in the technology. BK alluded to that. And the third one, which is the big one, is belief in ourselves. And that's really the area that most of us struggle in. We look at other people. We look at Richard. We look at BK. We look at Bart and Melissa, and we think it's all right for them. But every one of us has got different things that we're working through. Every one of us has challenges in the belief that we are competent, capable. And the big one, I think, is feeling worthy, is to raise people's level of worthiness so that they feel they're worthy of being diamond. Every single one on this call, you are worthy of being diamond. You are worthy. It is. We have a gift. We are entitled to abundance. We deserve abundance, provided you back it up with work. If you sit home and wait for the phone to ring, it's not going to happen. You know, what's the saying I used to say? Man who sits on side of mountain waiting for roast duck to fly and have long wait. You got to do something. And of course, the last thing that was that Richard spoke about was the great company. We have the most impeccable company. The ethics and the ethos of this company are unbelievable. We are just so lucky. Every time I listen to Vertis or any of the executive staff, I think, my goodness, how lucky are we to be involved with this company? And it's one of the key markers, I would think, in a business like this, is to know the owners, know the ethics and the integrity, because after all is said and done, it's not our company. It is their company. It is the Norton's company. but they make us feel like we are partners in the business, which is just absolutely unique. Then I just want to come to a couple of things that BK was sharing. He was talking about two very key elements that I think are very important when developing a business like this. Number one, somebody asked me a little while ago, what are some of the keys that I look for when you build a business like this? One of the main keys is to be teachable. It's such a big key. BK is immeasurably teachable, as am I, by the way. I look to others for leadership. I look to Danny Doyle constantly for guidance, even though I've been in the industry a lot longer, but he has a much higher rank than I do. So I am always looking for inspiration, information from anybody who has a higher rank. So remain teachable. I think once you lose that ability to remain teachable, you move into ego, and that's not a good place to go. The other thing I think you glean from BK is this humility. Being humble to learn, being humble to grow, being humble to accept the wisdom from somebody that's gone before us. That's a big thing. The other thing that if any of you go to Singapore, BK is an incredibly good tour guide. He can take you to all the best restaurants. He knows all the best restaurants. We've been to some fabulous places. And I don't know if you know, we'll be back Julie and I are planning to come back in a few weeks at the end of June. So very much look forward to going to Singapore. I love that city. I love the people there, with Kevin and BK. BK and I are good mates. We love each other's company, and they're just a great organization, great team, which is poised really to spread all through Asia over the coming years. This is still very early days for Singapore, but such a great start for them. And it's just an absolute pleasure to, be associated with you guys. And also, I will also see you at the Eric Worre conference as well in those days. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So again, I'm always looking to share. From Stevie, I just wanted to share this and thank you for everything you shared. But the importance of these functions, the importance of the events, if anybody on this call wants to become a big hitter, the events are vital. This is where people make decisions. You don't make decisions from talking to me or reading a book. You make decisions at the functions. And the reason that happens is because it's emotional. We are emotional beings. We are run by emotion. That's why your dream is so important, because it becomes emotional. The events, the functions that we attend, people make decisions by emotion. When you went to that first event at convention in America, Stevie, you would have had an emotional, life-changing experience. And it behooves us as leaders to help our people to stretch them beyond their comfort zone to make a decision to go there. People say, I can't afford to go. Well, maybe you can't afford not to go. If you want to change something in your life, change something in your life. Because if you have a problem financially now and you've been working 30 years, that's not going to change unless you make a change. If you want there to be a change in your life, you have to make a change in your life. I'm not saying that's easy. I'm not saying you'll always feel like you've got the reason or the ability right now. But I can tell you this, if you make a decision to go, you will find the money. You will find it somewhere. Cut something out, change something. But these events are life-changing. It's the reason, Stevie, you're on the map. It's the reason that, in a relatively short period of time, you're going to be diamond because of these events, by associating with people who have walked before you, who can guide you, can teach you, and all of us. These events are absolutely vital. And so, look, I just wanted to. I know I've reiterated everything, but I think you come to a webinar like this. I've learned so much from Richard. I was just listening to Richard. I think, my goodness, he's got it all. All the points that I would have said, he's said. Mindset is a big one. If you get your mind right, work your mind, work your belief system. Every one of us, by the end of this year or next year, every one of you, if you get your mind right, I don't have no doubt you can be triple diamond or ambassador. I have no doubt. And people say, but you don't know me. Yes, I do, because I know me. And I know that if you change your mindset, you can get your mindset right, you get your belief system right, work on your subconscious mind. That's where the power lies, in your subconscious. And if you train it, work it, you can have anything you want from a business like this. People say being at the right place at the right time. My goodness, we are in the right place. We are in the right time with the right company, right technology, right opportunity into Asia and the world. It's just an incredible time. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to Bart, you and Melissa, because you invited Danny, and of course Danny invited me. And I wasn't a very good headspace there, as you know. So it took me a while to come on board, kind of kicking bucking. And I'm also incredibly grateful to Doyley for his leadership. And, you know, he's the reason that Australia's on the map is because of Bart and Melissa and Danny Doyle, and also Ed Wiens because of the calls that he made. But you know, Doyley's a machine. I mean, I'm in admiration of his work ethic and who he is and his heart. The thing that you'll know with Doyley is he has the most amazing heart of anybody I've ever met. He's an incredible human being. So we're very lucky, very blessed. And, you know, you young people, you millennials, shame on you if you are not diamond within the next 12 months. Shame on you. You know, if us older millennials can do it, shame on you if you do it 12 months. And I'm looking right at you, Stevie Aquilina and Sarah, because you know you can do it now. So we expect great things. I expect BK will be diamond this year. I expect Kevin have great expectation. Expectation is the fundamental source of our energy. Learn to expect great things. You get in life what you expect, not what you want. You get in life what you expect. So expect great things. Work your mind to expect it. You have greatness inside you. Every single one of you, you have the power, the greatness inside you to get this thing done at this time. We are so blessed, so very grateful. So thank you so much. I'm going to have to excuse myself because I have another webinar to prepare for in America. So if I might be excused, but best wishes. Thanks, BK. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Bart and Melissa, for putting in so much effort to these. Really appreciate it. And it's just an absolute pleasure to be on this journey with everybody. So thanks for having me. And may I be excused, please, madam?
Now, well spoken. Thank you so much. We're absolutely thrilled to see all the incredible things you've got going on in your team and your business, and to see things happening for you. Very well spoken too. Great words of advice for everybody.
Great.
Thank you. Can I just have a quick shout out for Mijo Charmaton, who came on board in October last year. I've had so little to do with her progress. There's a saying in the business that on the way through to diamond, you will get one lucky one, and she was my lucky one. But between Christina and her, it's been awesome. So many of you may or may not be aware that Mijo ranked to diamond yesterday. Just an absolute treasure, and just leading the way. First diamond in France, and it's just unbelievable. So I just wanted to. I don't think she's on the call. She's probably asleep by now. But anyway, yeah.
She joined in October, and she just went diamond.
Yeah, she joined in October. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and she's got all the things that Richard read out, and BK. She's teachable. She's humble. She's grateful. She's got a phenomenal work ethic. Like all of us, you know, none of us are perfect. Please do not think that. I mean, no, people know me now. I'm not perfect anyway. It's easy, but you know, there's a danger you think that Doyley's perfect or Bart and Melissa. None of us are perfect, but she's got an amazing work ethic. She jumped all over this from the start. She's just followed instructions really well. I did some planning, strategizing, and she, you know, she just followed. But 90% of it was Christina. I've had so little to do with it, so I don't take any credit. But you know, she found me on Facebook because I had a kind face. I mean, can you believe it? I mean, and I'm a Facebook nincompoop, which you know. But it was just, you know, it was grateful. There were some laws in place. She and I have spoken about the laws of attraction. You know, attract what you think. Attract what you want. You know, write things down, even if you think it's a lie. Put it down and write it down and think about it. 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 Let the universe, you know, whatever your beliefs are, the infinite intelligence and infinite source. I have my own beliefs. Let that come in to help you, to guide you. And you know, there's an old saying: the harder you work, the luckier you get. So if you work hard, you'll get lucky. And so also, anyway, it's been great to share with you. I hope that's helped. Thank you, BK, so much for taking time out, waking up early to share. Thanks, Bart and Melissa, and congratulations to Richard. It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. He's a tough act to follow, that man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again, Mal.
Thank you, Mal.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
See ya. Okay, thank you so much, Mal Sword. It's been a fun webinar so far. We've really heard from some amazing leaders, and there will be a recording going out. So for those of you in your team who've missed today's webinar, we'll make sure we get these profound interviews and insights into the hand of your team.
Hey, Ed, if you're there, there's an announcement that we want you to make.
About Dallas. No, that's fine, because I'm not sure how long he can stay on for. So Ed just wanted to talk to us briefly about what he's organising in Dallas. So the floor's yours, Ed.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, listen, one of the great experiences when we have these gatherings, as Stevie mentioned, the team event that we were able to pull together down in Cabo. It was just a great bonding experience with the folks that were there, on our team specifically. And we did this last year. I think we've done it the last couple of conventions. Coming up in Dallas, we've made arrangements to have a very, very special experience with our team on Thursday night, the 6th of September. So watch for the announcement. Soon we'll get an Eventbrite up, but we're going to provide transportation and, a ride a short distance away to have a real authentic Texas meal at an old restored theater. And it's going to be a fun experience. We've got, limited capacity. So once we get the word out, I'm going to encourage you to jump on. It's going to be about $40, which is about $80 less per person than a hotel wanted for a dinner. So it's going to be a fun night. And so just look for the announcement at convention on the Thursday night. So make sure when you're getting there, get in there early enough to come join us for that team event, so we can all just kind of hear from one another, connect with one another, so that throughout the rest of the convention activities, you kind of know who you're part of the same sub family. So watch for that, and it'll be great to be with everybody. I just want to say this too. I might want to scoot. The thing that impressed me in Cabo on the one day that we had the session, some of the statistics that the executives shared with us, the corporate executives, just makes me realize that in the big picture of the network marketing industry, we are really still a small company. Now we're solid, and we're in our 9th year. But even with the spectacular accomplishments of folks on this call and part of our team, we are still in the foundational stages of this whole thing. Bertus, the dream, Bart, you and I have heard him say to us even personally, when people really finally grasp what we have our hands on here, this is going to be bigger than any of us can imagine. We just all happen to be in the know, a small percentage of folks that are in the know about this technology globally. Take advantage of that. Timing is always a key. I think we've talked about this many, many times, that one of the common denominators about a lot of us is that we don't recognize we're in the right place at the right time until later on. We look back and say, gee, I guess I was in the right place at the right time. You are absolutely in the right place at the right time with this company, with this technology right now. Some of you have heard me refer before to the whole surfing analogy. In years past, I surfed a long time ago. You could only catch a certain size of wave. The bigger waves just moved too fast. You just couldn't catch them. And somebody finally came up with the idea that you could get pulled by a jet ski and catch bigger waves that moved faster than you could paddle by yourself to catch. And so that's changed the whole dynamics of big wave surfing. The Kotters, the Mal Swords, the Danny Doyles, some of the other leaders, the Gates, they're the jet skis that have learned how to recognize big waves. And you've got to begin to move ahead of time if you're going to catch the wave. You can't wait till the wave's there and think, gee, I think I'll catch this one. You got to recognize and take your cues from the people who have been in this game a long time. They know how to recognize a big wave. I've heard Mal say it. He worked for years. We talked about this in Cabo. Worked for years in this industry to find an opportunity like this. And he's had home runs. I've had a couple home runs in this business. This is the kind of company you dream to find in this industry. And I just encourage you to latch on to these jet skis and catch this wave that'll be the ride of your life. The world record big wave surfing ride was just set it was set a couple months ago, but it took them a while, I guess, to actually validate the measurements. An 80-foot wave, translate that into metrics, it's an 80-some foot wave in Portugal was ridden, the largest wave ever ridden to date. We're that wave. This is going to be the record wave. And, you know, some of us are old war horses, have been around a while. Some of you young bucks, you know, the Stevie and Sarahs and some of the rest of you. You're going to set records here. You'll probably go on to break record ride waves that, you know, we may miss out on just because of pure longevity. Take advantage. Don't miss this. This is huge. And it's going to be an experience. It's going to be a thrill of a lifetime. And I'm just glad we know about it now. I'm sorry that it took me almost 5 years from the time I was introduced to ASEA to finally get it and realize this was a real deal. I'm thankful that we not 5 years more down the road before that light came on. And so this is incredible timing. It's a rare opportunity, guys. Don't miss it. And just kudos to all of you that are already on board. And let's just buckle up for the ride of a life. All right.
Thank you so much, Ed.
Sage advice.
Yeah, very much so. Hugs for Rebecca, and we'll be sure to plan ahead for the Thursday, the 6th of September in Dallas.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll get the Eventbrite link up very soon. Okay. Like I'm going to be in Dallas, and I'm going to be in Dallas in 2 weeks. I'm going to actually check out the venue personally while I'm there. So we'll get the details out.
Just going to mention it, a little heads up, as we go through some of the announcements coming up, you may want to get a pen and paper or grab some screenshots because we got some important things coming up.
So I know you've got to get somewhere, Ed. So thanks so much for joining us. It's so great to see you. I've been missing you.
All right. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Thanks, kids. See you, kids. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, great. So Bart had mentioned, and thank you again, Ed, that the next section, we're actually going to go through upcoming events and some important changes to your business. So you want to be stay on the line and pay attention to what's coming up. So in terms of the people who are accessing Genie, we've had a lot of success personally ourselves with using Genie. In terms of those starting out, there's a couple of training, in fact, 4 training videos. So it's been listed in the newsletters we sent out, but also Genie.
I've been loving.
Yeah.
I love when I send out an email through Genie, being able to track if someone's opened it, if they've watched the videos. It's really been helpful to know exactly where people are at, being able to take notes, the reminders I get, everything. So if you're not using Genie, certainly encourage you to jump on and do that. We're going to be improving that all the time as we fine tune that. And Melissa's put the emails together that welcome people and get them started as well. So we'll appreciate what she's done in that regard.
There's a free account as well as a pro account. You go to training, you see ABC and webinars to access those videos. And also just get access to Genie through your virtual office. You'll see this little image come up and you just click on learn more or let's go. So it's easy. Okay, now with ASEA via Source, for those of you who are looking in Australia because it's NFR, not for resale right now, to get onto auto ship with Source, we've noticed big differences in our energy levels with taking Source. Really big differences. We love it.
Yep, this is the building blocks.
It is, yeah. So log into your virtual office, go to My Business, and then click on ASEA via NFR auto ship.
So just to clarify, if you just go in to place an order, it's not going to be there. You can't add it to your auto ship that way by clicking on the banner. You can't just add it to an auto ship there. You need to go to My Business, and then there's a drop-down menu, and ASEA via NFR auto ship.
Is listed there.
Yep.
For those of you who aren't sure still about what to say about ASEA via Source, here's a couple of really good links. So take a screenshot or jot down some notes pretty quickly. When it comes to Alan Noble being a nutritional expert, he has a really brilliant description of why we need to supplement and what types of supplements we need to take. And of course, Ray Dunbon, she pulls from a very lengthy background as a nutritional coach and owner of a natural medicine clinic. So there's some great webinars. Also in your ASEA virtual office library, there's a product information sheet. So as Alan refers to in his video recording, all you need is that sheet.
This is really a powerful product. I mean, ASEA has done a great job with this product. And this is going to really help to boost your business, boost your auto ship. You want to get your team on this because it's the perfect thing. In fact, what was it, over 90% of ASEA associates already supplemented with nutritional supplements prior to ASEA via coming out. So you need to help them to redirect this and make this part of their regimen to get even better results with their ASEA.
And strategically, when they do launch the entire product range, at least 3 products in Dallas, in terms of a business perspective, you want to have as many people already on source. So by the time they go to convention, they're naturally going to be on the other products as well. So keep that in mind for building, and particularly rank advancing when it comes to the delivery of the rest of this line at convention.
Yeah.
So yet again, a reminder for all of you, use enrollment packs. I'm sure you are. And as we know, it is only at the time of enrollment. So make sure that you're leveraging off these value-added packs. There's a great quantity and there's a great variety for everybody's needs. So it's a matter of just making sure you find out what it is that your new prospect wants and getting a pack to suit their needs.
Just a couple of words of advice, guys. Sometimes it's easiest to take the lowest common denominator. In other words, just to start someone off with 1 case of product or whatever, but truly set people up for success. And by setting people up for success, I know when we thought about getting started, we wanted to make sure that we had some product to not only use ourselves, we wanted to have a little extra product to sell, to be able to share with other people. You can have an extra case of product to get someone started so they don't have to wait for their shipment to come out. And by starting with either an entrepreneur pack or a business pack, it's just a great way to get going. So at least start there and suggest that with people when they get started, because they'll also receive better loyalty benefits. And those loyalty benefits coming in at 10 or 15% loyalty benefit is huge to start off with.
Yeah.
And they're going to already get free products straight away with the points that they'll get. So it's just a smart way to go.
Makes sense. Absolutely. And talking about the loyalty program, you can also earn loyalty rewards for completing a fast forward. So start today. You've got to go in and actually activate this promotion. And there's many of you on the line today who are doing these back to back. It's a lot of fun to earn free product, and it's a really great way to build your business when it comes to enrolling people. So those 4 new enrollments, you expand that out back to back. Fast forward promotions over the year, you'd have brought in 100 people into your team. So,
that's right. And in Australia, we couldn't count ASEA before with this, and now we can. Yeah. So that's excellent.
Really exciting. And of course, the loyalty rewards program that Bart's just mentioned. So points grow with time. They accumulate through enrollment orders, and also we are rewarded for being on auto ship. So that's a phenomenal way. And free products are always fun to have. Ship that to somebody who is really in need, or ship it to yourself. It's a great reward. And the fast forward now, as many of you may know, is a permanent part of the compensation plan. In terms of the renewal process that's being rolled out globally, so here's just a little bit of information. There is a link. Some of you may have received this information in an email from the company. This link will help you to understand how to find people who have been suspended in your binary tree. And I've got a box that's sitting over the top of the writing there, but beginning of the 10th of May, you'll see that the people who haven't paid the renewal fees, we can't seem to remove that, 60 days past due, it'll be suspended pending renewal. And then just need to click on the next point. And this means the associates who haven't paid their renewal fee, they'll be unable to access any features of the virtual office, with the exception of being able to make their payment. So you want to actually be able to find the people in your team who are being affected by this. Now, also note that when this program is being rolled out, people will actually get 90 days grace period. So they'll have reminder emails sent at 30, 60 and 90 days when it comes to their renewal fee. If they don't pay by that time, their account reverts to a retail account. And then in the US, after 180 days, their social security number is removed. So basically they're removed from the tree, from the commission payment section of the tree. So get educated on this, and here's some great training materials created from head office for us to be able to understand that process better. For those of you who may not know that there is, finally, we're so excited, we've asked for this for years, there's a demo virtual office site. And the password is 28demo and the username's demo, and it will not expose any private information, and it's available in all languages. So just going back a slide, it's demo.aseastage.com. So have fun.
Write that down or take a screenshot.
Yeah, have fun with these, with the reporting and with being able to train your team on this site.
And then again, the password and the username.
Many of you have been asking, and we've been communicating with head office for quite some time, about public liability insurance. So for Australians, You can get $20 million coverage for public liability and advertising liability, and $20 million for products liability through Fenton Green. It's $140 annually. It's Australia-wide. It only covers up to 100 people in a function, but it will cover all the standard functions that we attend or promote as part of our ASEA business. So that.
Yeah, some of the venues, for example, the library in Toowoomba required this insurance, and so this works for any place that requires an insurance coverage. And so if you want to just get this and make sure that you're covered and you can provide that to them, just opens the doors for you to be more flexible with what presentations you can do.
Because it's become, as we know, such a litigious society. Even to know that you've got protection at your house is a big deal. So for those of you interested, there's the information to look into that. Okay, we had an amazing recording, thanks to Maria Hopwood, and interview that she facilitated with Dan Doyle and with Dr. Gary Samuelson, the atomic medical physicist who stabilised these redox molecules outside the body. There's the YouTube link. So take a photo, write that down if you're quick.
This has been viewed almost probably over 6,000 times, or close to 6,000 times on the Facebook Live feed that was there already. This is one of the best webinars I've ever seen. And
it only happened on Thursday. So a great recruiting tool, a great education tool, and be sure to hear from these two masters. So upcoming events, it's important to keep your associates plugged in. So we have, there's a link for the newsletter that goes out that I create that has a lot of information about coming events and other relevant information for the running of your business. So here is here's a 12-month picture or snapshot of the events in Australia. We've got the GoPro Recruiting Mastery coming up, but we also have the June Diamond Tour of Australia as well, which is, keep in mind that there's two websites, ASEAevents.com for ASEA corporate events, such as getting tickets for the convention. And this is one you want to memorise in Australia, ASEAevents.eventbrite.com.au. So,
and if you're like me, make sure you write it down, because I think I'll remember and then I forget.
Yeah. And then ASEA AU Diamonds events on Facebook is also a great place to go to get tickets. So I'll just run through a couple of those. But as an announcement, we usually, as you know, have these leadership webinars on the first Saturday of the month. Due to Ascent, and next month, due to the Diamond Tour of Brisbane, it'll be Saturday, June 9th, so the second Saturday in the month. And we are featuring Alan Noble, Ambassador Diamond. So we're really excited about that. Plan ahead, write these dates down in your calendars, in your phone. Put them in a place where you'll remember so that you can invite your team along, and I'll remind you in the emails as well.
Alan Noble is so articulate, and so he's got just such a great vision. You definitely want to make sure that your team hears from him.
Absolutely. Okay, so Expert in the House calls. So they're every Wednesday night. They run 2 times, featuring an Australian diamond. And the Facebook is ASEA AU Diamond Events. So that's a great place to go to get the recordings as well.
And actually, I just noticed this says 7 and 8. It's actually 6 and 8 Brisbane time. So anyway, just keep that in mind. And Mal Sword's going to be doing the next one.
Mal Sword will be doing the next one, May 16th. So Stevie's going to help Mal with that. We're really excited to be hearing from Mal, hosting his very first Expert in the House call. So thank you very much, Mal. Okay, so I need to try and move this from here. We've got a box that's sitting right over the top of the...
So the recordings...
Yeah, redoxdiamonds.com. So here's the place to go to get all the recordings of your favourite diamonds, and also to download the links to send to other people as well, even through Jeannie or directly. And the Peak Performance Training Day presentation recordings, when we receive them, they'll be uploaded to this site as well. There's an event that Stevie's helping to facilitate, but Ambassador Triple Diamond Dan Doyle, Triple Diamond Mal Sword, and Ambassador Diamond Richard Lee will be in Sydney next Monday week, the 21st, at Ryde Eastwood Leagues Club.
So if you're in the Sydney area, or if you know anybody in the Sydney area, you want to get them to these events, because a chance to have them hear from these 3 amazing leaders.
Definitely. And Stevie's going to help to put it on Facebook Live and live online through the same link you joined today's webinar through, which is advancinglifeintro.com. Not every day you get these 3 leaders in the same city to do an event. So if you live in Sydney or surrounding region, this will be one that you won't want to miss.
Notice that there's a few hands that have been raised. So if there's some questions at the end, we'll go through and open it up for any questions as well.
Brisbane was mentioning the June 2nd tour. It starts in Brisbane, the Diamond Tour. There's more information on ASEA events.eventbrite.com.au, and this venue is at Fitzy's at Logan Home. And it's also in our newsletter. So if you're not getting our newsletter, I believe you've got a screen with that. Make sure that you're plugged into the newsletter so that you're at the where the information is coming out. June 16th in Melbourne at the Mulgrave Country Club. And Sydney, June 24th, Bart and I will be at this event as well at the same venue as Monday the 21st of May, Ride Eastwood Leagues Club. So all your tickets you can find at aseaevents.eventbrite.com.au. So there's the link one more time, and also ASEA AU Diamond Events Facebook page. So that's where you can get tickets as well. And that Facebook page, go on there and follow that page. That way you'll know exactly what's happening all the time with all the diamond events. So save the date. We'll have early bird tickets listed soon for the Gold Coast Convention and Exhibition Centre next year when it comes to our Envision event, Friday 15th and Saturday, February 16th, and our peak performance training on Sunday, February 17th. GoPro Australia, we heard from BK who's flying out for this. Dan will be there, we'll be there, Mouse Sword will be there, countless other people in the team as well. So it's July 13th to the 15th. If you would like to get tickets, networkmarketingpro.com, and there's a little write-up there on what the event is actually about. I know Bart's been to a six-figure summit in Vegas. Dan's been, Denny Robinson, as you may know, she's good friends with Eric Warre now. These events, this is his first one in Australia. So you can either pay for tickets to get to Vegas, which is a fun place, but it's a lot more inexpensive to get to the Gold Coast to listen to this event. Yeah, Mal talked about being a sponge to learn from the best of the best. I can tell you that that these events, to learn from the top leaders in the industry, are fantastic. And you're just around, switched on people that are going places and learning some great things. I mean, you learn just 1, 2, 3 key things that can make all the difference in the world and your business, and it will just propel the growth of your business, your income, give you a chance to help a heck of a lot more people. So definitely look at being there at this event as well. Of course, as Ed mentioned, we've got our Dallas convention, September 6th. That'll be the team dinner on the 6th to the 9th as well. So if you are a newly enrolled associate within the last 90 days, you can purchase your convention ticket. It's actually gone up. It's not $179. I think it's $199. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, call customer support and redeem and get your reduced ticket price to attend that event as well. So there's the location. It's amazing. We've been fortunate to stay in this hotel before, and it'll be a really, really fun event. So looking forward to seeing as many of you there as possible. And then that's it. We have just crept in under the hour-and-a-half mark. We've had a great lineup of speakers today. We want to particularly thank Richard Lee and Ed Wiens for coming on, Stevie for talking about Ascent, with Sarah as well, of course BK from Singapore, and Malsort. So all of you honest participants, thank you so much. We do value your time. We realise being Saturday morning or Friday night in the US, it's sort of time to unwind, but we really truly hope to bring you value, and we'll get this recording out. We're so excited that there's been so much that we imparted for all of our benefits today. And there's a reminder here to see you June 9th for the next leadership webinar. And thank you so much for joining us. Stop the recording and we'll get to some questions.